Boys and journalers, we are back. DLC episode 9, rockin' and rollin'. It's gonna be awesome. As always, I'm Gerard, that be Gerg, and that be Alex.
Sandwich.
Hey.
Sandwich.
Today's special guest is Sandwich.
Sandwich, the sandwich guest. Thank you again to our sponsors, K-Zombie Radio, for throwing us on iTunes. And yeah, it's gonna be awesome. Our special moderator for today is Tez Super Darv. Darv, how you doing today?
Hello everyone, it's a pleasure to be here.
Did you just do like a short tap routine?
No, I found my script this time.
Uh-oh.
I caught that one.
That was great. DLC is our podcast which we talk about what matters to us today in gaming, and one of today's topics, or the topic for today, is gaming horror stories. Oh man, how depressed this makes me thinking about this topic.
Sad time that doesn't matter.
Well, that's kind of an odd topic. I mean, I can really only think of like Grand Theft Auto.
Oh man.
Yeah, Grand Theft Auto I think is the only one that has them.
Yeah, that game, like so many discs just of that game. I returned Grand Theft Auto 3 7 times because it never ran correctly in my PS3.
Oh, horror.
Yes.
Horror. Okay.
Horror stories.
I was confused for a second there. I was fused.
Okay. I got
All right,
you.
we're good now. We're good. Horror.
Horror.
Yeah, I got a few of those.
Now, to clarify for you at home listening to this, we don't mean like scary games, because no, we don't mean scary. We're talking about when you have played a game and something happened that made you want to cry. A scary moment. You know, there's nothing worse than turning on your PlayStation 1 and you put 172 hours into Final Fantasy VII, and you're at the very end of the game, and you just see the game load, and right when it gets to the end of loading, it goes, and it says file corrupt, and you just want to throw tables and anything else that gets in your way. It's the worst.
Totally horrible.
Horrible. Do you have any stories, Alex, you want to share with us about that one time?
Yeah, well, okay, seriously, right off the bat, I can tell you that the other day, I've been streaming Earthbound Zero for a couple weeks now, and it's a very, very, dated game, Like, the graphics aren't great. It has, a bunch of glitches. It's really hard to, get around. It has random encounters, but the encounter rate is, nuts. Like, you can just, barely even, move a pixel, and then you get into another fight.
Yeah.
So it takes me hours to get through things. Just horrible, horrible stuff. And then I did a run. I grinded somebody from level 1, because when you get a new party member, they are level 1 when you get them, even if you're level 20. So you just gotta grind them up for an hour and a half. And so I did that during one of my streams, and I hated it, and I was mad the whole time. And then I went to stream the other day, and my file was as if I had never played the last time that I played. It was just horrible, because that game is not super fun.
Did you ever consider that perhaps you were dreaming?
That's literally possible.
Just trying to make you feel better about it.
Thank you.
But you probably lost everything, and it was a big waste of time. I think one of the main games that has screwed me over is Pokemon.
Ooh.
And I have a current instance, and then one from when I was a kid. Is when we were doing the Pokemon episode, it was bad because I played a lot of Red, and
actually crying now,
and it was completely gone the next time I plugged it in. The whole game save was just not after hours and hours of playing the freaking game. So that one, and then when I was a kid, on my street, I first got Pokemon and I was playing through it, and I was near the end, and one of our girl neighbors, I was just sitting there playing Pokemon, and then she was trying to talk to me or something, but I didn't want to talk to her. So she walked over, and she just flicked it off in the middle of like good 3 or 4 hour play session where
Oh hell no!
you know when you're a kid you're not like ooh gotta save, you know, ooh gotta save. Or at least I wasn't.
Yeah.
But now I am because of that situation, and I lost so much.
God damn
So
it.
much stuff.
Ladies of the internet, do not do this to your significant other. It will only induce rage.
Yeah, you will not teach them a lesson. You
No.
will
Well, she
just-
wasn't. Yeah, she wasn't my significant other or anything. She was just.
Ladies of
just
the
a
internet,
troll.
don't do that in general.
to
She
any-
wanted to talk to me with words, and I did not want to do that.
So good. Speaking of Pokemon, I got another horrible story that's not didn't happen to me, but I was there for it. Some of you may have heard it already, but it is so important that you hear it. I almost failed out of college one year because of how addicted I got to Pokemon Diamond and Pearl.
That was the same with me.
And so I literally would be up in the middle of the night till 6 in the morning, just playing every night, drinking energy drinks, just horrible man in my underwear. And it was me and my roommate Zach.
Horrible man, is that your superhero alter ego?
Yeah, I'm the worst. But we were on the couch and we were like sitting on opposite ends of the couch, like horrible, like delirious stuff. And then he just like stands up. He's like, oh my God. And I mean, there's a lot more cursing, but I'm not gonna do that because there's so many kids here apparently.
That is a large part of
Yeah.
our
Yeah,
audience.
just like, oh my God, I can't believe, and I was like, what is it? And he had a shiny Groudon sitting on his screen, and he already had a Rayquaza, and so that's the only Pokemon that he had that was good enough to
Take it down.
take it down or get it anywhere close to being catchable.
Yeah.
And so for 30 minutes or whatever it was, he fought this guy and just whittled him down, and then he ran out of usable moves and he struggled to death. And just that was it for the shiny Groudon. Struggled to death. My friend was like, no! He took his DS, he slammed the stylus in backwards and bent the casing out, and then he threw it across the room, and it's a testament to the quality of Nintendo products that that DS Lite still worked afterwards.
So, one of my horror stories that in recent weeks or months, years rather, that I'll never forget is Dead Rising. Now, funny story, I didn't own an Xbox until about 2 years ago. Prior to that, I was always borrowing from my brother, borrowing from a friend. I'm just not a big Xbox guy. The Xbox 360 doesn't have enough titles that are for me, but there was one game that I loved on the 360, and that was Dead Rising. I loved Dead Rising. I loved
got
getting
really into that game too.
Yeah, I loved getting my own music and just like throwing it on there and enjoy just killing zombies. And there is that achievement of beating the game, or of getting the Mega Man outfit, where you have to get kill all the zombies, right? Kill the zombies, and you can go ahead and unlock the Mega Man gun. So, and how you do this is you get the car, you go down to the bottom of the garage, and you just keep going in and out of the garage, and they reload. So, while I was playing this, it takes like a few hours to do this, right?
I would come in and out during the day.
Yeah. Greg
I'd
would
be
cut...
like, hey, Gerard, want to hang out? And then I'd just hear all the zombies being crushed, and I'm like, I'm going to go do something else.
Exactly. So, I finally got the achievement. I finally got the gun. I was so happy. And I was going back to the room to save. And as I was going there to save, the loading screen pops up. It says loading. Loading. Just spinning. Loading. 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 And I'm like, all right. I'm going to go get a soda and see what happens. So I grab a soda and come back. Loading. 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 Like, this is not, I don't like this. No. So I wait a few seconds, and then, boom. Your disc is unreadable. Please take it out or reset the system.
Oh my God.
So I
What
said, so I wanted to cry so hard, but I said I'm gonna do it again. Started it over. Got to like 45,000 zombies killed. Loading. 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 Okay, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna be fine. I'm gonna be good. I'm gonna be good. I waited 3 days. Went back to it. Got all the way to it. And I did it. I went to the save point. I saved. I was good to go. I walked out of into the next zone. Loading. 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 And the game froze. At that point, I immediately just went to the Xbox Live store and I bought the game digitally. And I was like, this is on my hard drive. I refuse to have it read off the disc because it just kept freezing like that. It drove me insane. That's why I'm not going to complete Dead Rising anytime soon, because I have nightmares and dreams of that happening again. And plus that last grueling, like, 3-day mode is just really insane.
Yeah,
that's like not even worth like having. Like no one. It's just like punishing.
Yeah.
God damn, that's such a bummer.
So bad.
So I have another one from Grand Theft Auto 3, which is an amazing game.
So good.
And I played the hell out of that when I got it. And there's one mission, I think I've brought it up on maybe past streams or something before, but there's one mission in particular where you have to get a car from the first island and drive it to the second island without hitting anything or getting hit by cars or hitting any other cars or getting any wanted levels.
Yeah.
Which is an extremely difficult task, because even if you decide to obey the traffic laws of Liberty City, nobody else does.
Yeah.
So, like, you'll pull up to a red light, and you're like, I'm going to be good. I'm going to stop at this red light. So you're just sitting there, and then all of a sudden somebody just, like, rear-ends you because the NPC understands, oh, I have to stop at the red light, and it doesn't understand that I am there at the red light. So I would have to, like, find clever situations, and, like, I almost got to the garage that I had to pull it into. And if my memory serves me correctly, the garage that you had to pull it into is up this driveway with a sharp right-hand turn and then a left into the driveway. And I came up and I was making the right-hand turn and I scratched the side of the car on the way into the garage.
Oh, no.
And so this is the only time that I have literally destroyed a game controller because you had to do that with like a few different cars. So I just grabbed it and I literally destroyed the controller,
like
got up
beat
and
it to
walked
pieces.
away because I could not handle the shit.
Now, mine with Grand Theft Auto 3 is that I could never get the game to work.
I saw a quick comment. You can't do it with a motorcycle because there weren't motorcycles in 3.
Oh,
Anyways, on.
My overall issue with Grand Theft Auto 3 was that my game would constantly freeze. And I never knew why. I returned... my sister bought it for me for Christmas, and I returned that game 7 times. And
that happens a lot on those games because
Yeah.
they're so much bigger than they should be.
Yeah, it drove me up the wall. Like I'm afraid to play that game now because I'm worried it's gonna break.
Should have got it on iOS, bro.
This just reminded me, somebody said that they had Game Boy Advance, the Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. Now that game is a horror story in itself. Because I remember I got that just for the hell of it, and it's one of the most frustrating games that I've ever played. It was very, very difficult for like a kid's game.
It's another. I'm trying to think of another just terrible horror story. Oh, I got a funny one. Have you ever cried? Have you ever cried because of a video game, like when you were an adult man?
Yeah. Oh yes.
I'll tell you what literally drove me to tears, and then you can tell me what drove you to tears.
Sure.
I was playing Star Wars: The Force Unleashed, which I'm sure you're familiar with. The both of you. After
Never
that,
heard of it.
Never heard of it.
after that, Power Week, and there's a scene in the game where you have to pull down the Star Destroyer with your Force powers.
Gerard does the same thing.
And I don't know if you guys, I don't know if they ever fixed this or what the hell, but it was just like it just didn't work. And I just like, I just didn't know what to do, and I tried so hard because I really, really liked the game. You know what I mean? Like I liked it more than I should have because that game's not like super great. And I was like so into it, and I was like playing it a lot, like hours at a time. And I was just trying to pull it down, and I just couldn't do it. And I got so upset that I just like I like put the controller down like slowly, and I was like staring like flabbergasted and betrayed at the screen. And I grabbed my pillow, and I just like like into the pillow, just like ruined it. No one knew because it was quiet into the pillow, but everybody just like somebody came in later and saw me, and I was just kind of like laying in my bed with my pillow on my face, and be like, "What's the matter?" I'd be like, "Get out!" Like
Yeah.
That was a real thing that happened to me.
I remember when Gerard first got it. I had somewhere to be with my roommate at the time, but we wanted to watch this because it was so cool. It's like, oh, it's the Star Destroyer part. So we were there, like, just waiting for Gerard to pull the thing out of the sky, but it took, like, an hour.
It was
get the thing
broken.
down.
It was broken.
Well, I don't think it is because I've never had a problem with it.
Well, Greg, when I replay, okay, the first time I did it when you were over, I think I was just frustrated with the game overall. But the second time I did it no problem.
Yeah, I went back like 9 months later, and I didn't even like have an issue with it. But that first time, god damn it!
I have a horror story of a game that made me cry. It was Sonic 06.
Is it just
Sonic 06? That's it. That's that entire game.
You just put it in, and then you played it, and then you cried.
Just cried because this game is not finished, and it's never going to be, and I'm so sad that. Yeah.
Yeah. So just horrifying. Just terrible.
Horrifying.
I have another one that I'm gonna preface with, I totally had it coming. So when I was in college and before college, I played a lot of World of Warcraft. And when I was in college, I had a lot of stuff to do. You know, I had a lot of homework. I wanted to hang out with friends all the time. There was my now fiance. I was starting to hang out with her a lot, so I didn't have enough time to really grind. And this is back when WoW was actually, you know, it was a time-consuming game, and it's not like you sneeze and you make it 10 levels past. So my buddy, he showed me the WoW glider, which essentially plays the game for you.
Yeah.
So I would go to sleep at night, set up the glider, and then go to sleep, and then wake up in the morning. I'm like, oh, cool, I got a couple levels in the middle of the night.
Right.
And he used that thing for years with no problems. And I used it for a couple months just because I was like, oh, this is awesome.
Yeah.
And then I tried to log in, and they deleted my entire account.
For
and
cheating.
The sad thing is, I only got like 10 levels from the glider.
Like over
but
the
I
time,
had
yeah.
multiple level 60s other than that. But I was like, oh, okay, I don't really want to play through these levels of this one, so whatever, I'll just let it go.
Oh,
and then
my
all
God.
those years of hard work on WoW, they just fell apart. And then I called Blizzard to try and act like, oh, you know, like what happened? You know, I didn't do anything wrong. And they're like, well, it says that that you were caught using third-party software. And I was just like, well, all right then.
Touche.
I don't want to lie to you, but I'll catch you later.
And we're back. Alrighty. Well, before the break, we were talking about video game horror stories, game corruption, game freezing, all this awful stuff. And now we're going to take some calls from you guys at home. You got a chance to enter the raffle like you get to every week. And our first, actually, before we get into the callers, we're going to let Dave tell our story. Dave, tell us a story that you have to offer in regards to horror.
Okay, well, like Greg, it's a Blizzard game, and this was back in the years, like little time travel. I was 12 years old. It was like 2000, maybe 2001.
Okay.
I'm just learning curse words for the first time. And I
That's
spent
a glorious time, by the way.
years and years playing Diablo 2. I had 8 90-plus characters. I did cow runs when there was a cow level. And then suddenly, version 1.09 became version 1.10. Everything was lost. All of my characters were naked, and that's either going to make everyone cry or go, "Pfft, nerd."
No, that's
No, I went
that's
through the exact same thing,
yeah.
but I think I had
Steaming up.
Well,
most
I just said the
problems I
nerd
had with
thing
Diablo
to be
2
funny.
were the corpse explosions.
Oh, corpse explosions! That was the worst, like glitch thing ever.
So you get all your stuff, and you're supposed to go back and pick up your corpse. But when you do, all of your stuff just goes everywhere. So like suddenly there's a wind force just lying on the ground that somebody else could just walk up and pick up.
so scary.
I've had that happen too, but it wasn't as sad.
Yeah. Alrighty, I'm sad now. All right, well, our first caller is Alec, aka Feral Weasel. Alec, how you doing today?
Doing good. How about you guys?
Pretty
It's well.
swellerific.
Swallacious.
So tell us about a horror story that
Scary
you've
stuff.
experienced.
Oh, there's so many I could tell. Probably the one that sticks in my head the most is when I was like 8 years old. I grew up kind of in a poor household, and all we had was a SNES. And my little brother, he was like 4 years old at the time, and he was mad that he wasn't able to play Mario while I was playing Mario. So he went over and he ripped the cords out of the wall, and my SNES was destroyed.
Oh,
And I didn't have a game console until the GameCube.
Oh my god. That is like an ultimate horror story.
that was like a moment of silence there.
Yeah, we all were like, oh.
I felt when you said pull from the wall, I just like my heart just got yanked from the wall too, just like with that.
This just
console.
in, Gerard's heart is in the wall.
That's right.
Oh,
didn't-
not anymore.
Not anymore. It got
was.
Kano'd. It got Kano'd right out.
Well, good.
Yeah.
It's funny you bring up Kano because the nether horror story I have is about Mortal Kombat.
Oh yeah.
Let's hear it. Knock it out.
Oh, I remember when Mortal Kombat 9 came out, and I'm a big Street Fighter, those type of game fan. So I was super psyched for Mortal Kombat 9, and I was like, I can play this game on hard mode. And so I get all the way to the end where you have to fight Raiden versus Shao Kahn. Oh, sorry, spoiler alert. And the three people in the game I hate the most are Sub-Zero, I hate Sub-Zero, Nightwolf, and Raiden. So the final battle I have to play as one of my least favorite characters. And I don't know if anyone knows about that battle besides me, but that was enough to make me cry. My dad is up there
I know
laughing.
exactly where you're coming from.
So
I know exactly
hard.
where you're coming
Yeah.
from.
My dad's up there upstairs laughing at me. My little brother's downstairs laughing at me because I'm just yelling every swear word in the book because it's dumb hammer smash. Throwing hammers at me. I'm like yelling into the couch cushions. I'm just like, I don't think I've ever been more angry at a game.
Do you know what? That is exactly the same with me. Easy.
Yeah, just horrible.
And literally, I this time I was playing. I got up to that. I was just on normal on that one, and it was past 9 p.m. at that point. It was quite late at that point, and I just kind of kept going, and I didn't stop playing until about 3:30 in the morning, and then I finally got it by just being really cheap. So,
Yeah,
jumping
that's
over.
just how, that's just how it always happens.
There was
Super Dave, did you realize that you're now speaking in an English accent?
By the way, guys, our last caller is James.
Yeah.
James, it's Cadicarus, right? I always pronounce it wrong.
No, you're cool. That's how you pronounce it. Yeah.
Cadicarus.
Yeah, it's just Kid Icarus, but backwards ish.
Ah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, except it isn't, but yeah.
Um.
You get the gist.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well. Yeah.
Well,
hello.
hold on, but before we move on, Alec, do you have anything else to add?
Just one more story.
Go for it, man.
This is probably the worst one. My favorite game of all time is Tales of Symphonia for the GameCube.
Great choice.
I just think it's the best story out there and everything. And anyone who plays it, they know that there's a lot of stuff you can do that in that game. It can go up to 80 hours. And when I was, I think 16, I was replaying it on my Wii, and I was getting the devil arms, which are like the best weapons in the game. And that was the last thing I needed to get. I had all the titles, I had all the extra costumes you can get, everything. And I was just doing like close to the final battle. My dog walks in and hits my Wii over, and it unplugs. And then when I was like, okay, it only goes back 5 minutes, and it completely screwed up the game save file. There was probably a good 80 hours of game time on that, and I was just like, I'm going to bed now.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to bed. I'm never gonna play a video game ever again.
Pretty much.
It's like when I played Enter the Matrix.
Oh man.
Tell me more about this.
This is well, I think it's another cheating story.
Yeah, because you could hack the game with codes.
Yeah, you could make that it was really, really fun because you could like hack the Matrix.
Yeah.
But if you did it, it corrupts your game save file.
Yeah.
And it doesn't say anything about that. It's just suddenly you can't play the game anymore. And it's like you can't even create a new game save because like the whole game is just screwed up.
Yeah.
So that was fun.
That might have been a weird thing that happened there, though. I don't know about that. That's horrible. That's horrifying.
For those of you guys who don't know James, he has a channel called the actual channel name is the name of the show, right?
Yes. It is. Yeah.
Cool. Links in the description below of this video. Check him out. Great stuff. He just got spotlighted on Did You Know Gaming's Resident Evil video because he did a review of Resident Evil 6. And James and I are going to be working together in the upcoming months on a couple things, couple side projects. But yeah, James, tell us about a horror story you had, because I'm sure you've had one or two to experience.
God, yes. Well, during our little bit of a break there before we went on, I had a massive list that I just wrote down. But probably the worst one there was I was at this like gaming con thing, and I'd found a copy of The Fifth Element on PS1.
Oh my god.
Yes, I don't know if anyone's familiar with it, but it's easily one of the worst games I've ever played in my life.
It's very, very weird and bad.
It's just terrible. And yeah, and what happened was my sister then booted it up one night, and she started playing it, and then she pressed the home button on the PS3 to then quit, and she quit the game, and then it was stuck on the like quitting game loading bit before it goes back to the PS3 home menu.
Mm-hmm.
And it just stayed there, and it didn't move. And we left it for about 10 minutes or something, and it didn't move. So what we did was we just turned the power off on the back, turned it back on, and then it came back on, and every default setting had been changed, and I couldn't find any save data for anything.
Oh, God.
And everything, like the entire system glitched out. And then all of our accounts were signed out. I had no profiles or anything on there. It was all gone. And yeah, my sister...
She's reliving it right now.
She's like an avid trophy collector on PS3. She like tries to get every single trophy she can, and she, you know, when you log into something and you type in your password and then you just keep the password saved so that you don't have to keep typing it in when you come back in. Yeah. Well, we did that with all of the PSN accounts, but then it got rid of the PSN account, so we had to log back in. So because there was like 4 years of never using that password, Rosie completely forgot what the password was.
It had 24 letters.
Yeah, it had 24 characters, and she completely forgot.
Why would you do that?
Yeah, I don't know. And
A 24-letter password?
Yeah.
Mash the keyboard for a bit.
Very secure.
She thought it was a good idea at the time, and then, yeah, she couldn't get back into her account, so all of her trophies and everything were unobtainable, and it was just a nightmare. And yeah, and then we had to dig into the system settings and find all like the backup save data that I had on another hard drive, because I upgraded it to a 600 gig hard drive from 80. So I had to go back to the 80, and it was an absolute nightmare. That was horrible.
And I got my trophies.
Oh yeah, and she got her trophies back in the end, so that was all alright.
Thank goodness.
All right, well, James, thanks for calling in, man. Thanks for being a part of
Thank you for having me. This is unbelievable. I was literally sitting here
It's
shaking.
amazing.
Oh yeah, my sister's freaking out.
I love all you guys. I love you so much.
Oh.
Ah, we love us too.
We all love each other. It's all good. Yeah. Yeah.
No one remembers me.
All right, guys. Well, this has been the Downloadable Cast, episode 9, Gaming Horror Stories. We had an awesome. This was a really good podcast. I don't know about you guys. I felt good
I had
about this
fun
one.
time.
Yeah, all those other ones, they suck.
They all were just. No, they're pretty good. Dave, thank you for being our moderator for today.
You're welcome, Gerard, and it was a pleasure to be here.
Alrighty.
I've got an applaud track as well behind me as well.
Yeah.
So.
As always, links in the description below for all of our Face, Twit, Tamblegrams, all that stuff. Twitter also above us. Follow us on Twitter. We're gonna be. I know I said this last week. We're gonna do it soon. We're gonna make an exclusive Twitter account just for DLC, and it'll be used to promote it when we're gonna film. All that stuff. Generally speaking, we film every Sunday. We're gonna try and get it in the afternoon, just like this. It's now 1 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, but we're gonna try and aim for 12 every Sunday, 12 noon every Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, I think we're good. I'm the Comportionist. That's the Mediocreist. And over there is the Fossianiest.
I think I know the perfect way to end this episode.
Oh yeah, how's that?
Yeah!
Oh my God, you did it!
And
My
now it's
sister's so
time.
laughing.
Now it's time for something different, guys.